Every 2 years, in August, the Western Buddhist Order gathers for a convention. This year, it was held once again at Wyndham College, and the overall theme was a celebration of the Order, an ever-widening circle, the Sangha grows. The focus of the shrine room was a beautiful stupa, whose creation was directed by Chintamani, and which was the result of 3 months of effort by a team working at the London Buddhist Arts Centre.
I was looking through some books, and I came across one in which there was a reproduction of a really beautiful Pala Dynasty Indian miniature bronze, I think it might have been copper stupa, only 11 inches high. And I was so struck by it, I thought this is a very beautiful thing, that I decided to use that as the basis for this stupa. What I did was to take the basic proportions and enlarge them, and also the basic elements, and just reproduce them in a slightly simplified form. What I also did was to get rid of the more obviously Indian ornamentation and replace them with ornamentation in a more Western aesthetic. What I've actually been trying to do in my work as a whole over the last few years is to find images that can connect us with our own environment, but in a mythical sort of way. And from my readings and study, it seems that the image of the Green Man is an image that has survived since pre-Christian times. It's survived Christianity, and it's still there to a certain extent in popular culture. I mean, you have pubs called the Green Man, don't you? I know there's a new age interest in the Green Man as well. But for me, and actually as I find for quite a few people that I know, the Green Man face, the foliate mask, is quite suggestive. It grabs their imagination. So I thought I'd have a go as an experiment and put him on the stupa as a kind of indigenous guardian figure, if you like, and just see what would happen. I think he's got quite a happy face, even an inspired face, so maybe he's inspired by what's above him. Having been in the room with it, it does seem that it provides a much more tangible focus for the assembly. There's a sense of everybody relating to something central. And especially the way it's being used, which I never planned. I never planned to have a circumambulation area, and that just seems to be the way it worked out. So when you get, several dozen order members standing up, circumambulating the stupa and making offerings out of that circumambulation, it almost magnetizes the center of the room. Something seems to happen, and it draws one's attention.
The 4-day combined convention saw the gathering of both wings of the order. During this, Sangharakshita gave a talk entitled, "Looking Ahead a Little Way."
In the Buddhist world as a whole, Buddhism is on the decline. It's been on decline for nearly 1,000 years, as I've already explained. Only in the West and in India, broadly speaking, is it part of a rising wave. But if that wave is to keep on rising, whether in India or in the West, it will have to struggle. It will have to work very hard. The FWBO will have to struggle, will have to work very hard. And in particular, the order will have to struggle, will have to work very hard. You will have to struggle, work very hard. In India, he will have to struggle against the all-pervading influence of Hinduism, against the relentless pressure to Hinduize Buddhism, or at least to Hinduize Buddhists. Struggle against the pressure to put you back into the caste system. In the West, you will have to struggle against what I've called pseudo-liberalism, against some aspects of New Age ideology, against the attempts to mix Buddhism with Christianity. You will have to struggle against materialism and consumerism. And this means that often you will have to stand alone.
Sangharakshita also launched a number of books, including a collection of poetry by his longtime friend Ananda.
I've known him for, well, more than 30 years now. There he is, yawning. I hope that isn't due to any recollection of things I've said to him over the last 30 years. Or maybe it's just the weather. We'll take it as the weather. But during the time that I've known him, Ananda has always been writing poetry. And over the years, of course, Ananda has turned out quite a number of what are usually referred to respectfully as slim volumes. Well, now at last, I'm very glad to see that there's not a further slim volume. There's quite a stout volume. Not only stout, but it's a hardback. And it has the rather mysterious title of, I don't know what it means, North of the Future.
Yeah, moved, yes. But you're the lady in Cornwall.
And in honour of Sangharakshita's 74th birthday this year, there was a celebration evening.
When I first met Bhante, and I first met him through his tape lectures and through his poetry, and then finally personally, it was as if the sun suddenly, brightly, gloriously came into my life and lit up my mind, my heart, and my whole being.
Thank you for being like a teacher, a father and a friend to me. May I emulate the qualities that you have displayed to me. And may our friendship continue throughout this life and beyond into the unknown. Thank you.